Well, friends, join me today as I make us some elderberry syrup. I should have done this a while back. We have run out of ours and we have been going through summer colds, and my son got strep a couple weeks ago. So it's just time to do it. We actually get our berries, these are fresh berries. We get our berries off the river. We have a lot of rivers around our area. We live in the Ozarks. And there are tons of elderberry bushes along the riverside. And so when the elderberries are in full ripeness, I guess is what you call it, I don't know, they are just weighing those things down like crazy. So we get quite a few then. And then I go ahead and make a batch immediately. And then I freeze the rest of my berries and use them throughout the year. So these are actually from last year's crop. They're not ripe yet right now in our area, but these are from last year's. I just pulled them out of the freezer, ran them through the colander, quick rinse. I rinsed them before I froze them, but I just went ahead and rinsed them again, and then you'll see there's little like sticks, branch thingies from it still, from the vine. And maybe other little things, like even these green berries still in here, and that's fine because after you cook your elderberry syrup, you're going to strain it really, really good, and all that will come completely out of it. All you'll end up with is juice, like that. See that nice purple juice? So, we have our berries, and I'm actually going to be making 2 different pots of syrup. Normally, I just make one, and I make it with honey, local honey, because local honey is good for your immune system. I'm using this local honey right here. This is what I get from our farmer's market. But I have an infant who is too young to have honey right now. So I'm making a small batch in this one for him with organic sugar. And then I'll be making a bigger batch in this one for the rest of us with honey. So just join me as we make our elderberry syrup. So first, for our batch that will not have honey, it'll be made with sugar, we're going to add 1 and 2 cups of water. This is filtered water. We don't buy water bottles, but we have a Berkey water filter that we absolutely love. It has been an amazing investment, and in the long run, an amazing money saver. And then also for our batch with honey, we're going to do the same thing. Add 2 cups of water. 1. And I think we're going to need to get a little bit more water. Okay. So let me get some more. Right, here's our 2nd cup of water for the recipe of honey. There we go. Next, we're going to add our elderberries. So for the batch without honey, we need 1/2 cup of elderberries. So I'm going to do about like that. Bring it over here and just plop it into there. Kind of use that water to just rinse off as much as possible. And for our batch with honey, we're going to do the same. 1/2 cup. A little bit more. There we go. Bring it right over here. Pop it into there. So I guess the batch sizes are pretty much actually going to be pretty close to the same. It'll just be one with honey, one without honey. Both my sons will probably, for the most part, use that one without honey. My older son, he's only 2, but I mean, he loves the one with honey because that's what I've been making, and he actually takes it great. He loves it. So the one without the honey at this point is ready to start simmering. So we're going to turn it to a medium heat, just like that, and let it just begin to cook down. You're going to cook it down for about an hour because you want that water to reduce to about 1/2. So I'll just kind of stir it occasionally. There's nothing really that's going to stick or should stick. maybe the berries a little bit, but just gonna stir it occasionally. We just want it to reduce heat. And for this one, we will make a simple syrup to add to it at the end. This one, we have our water and our berries, and we're going to actually add some spices because these are all immune boosting spices, and they'll also just kind of add some flavor to it. So we're going to add 1 cinnamon stick. Should have already had this out of here. 1 whole cinnamon stick. Just drop it in there. And then we'll need whole cloves. I have organic whole cloves. We want 5 of those. We're going to try to do this one-handed here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Here's 5 whole cloves. We need to just drop those right into there. If you have fresh ginger, you can add fresh ginger. You would add about a tablespoon of fresh grated ginger. I don't have fresh ginger, but I have this ground ginger, organic ground ginger. And because I have this organic ground ginger, it's going to be a little more concentrated. So I'm just going to add about a pinch or just one like simple little shake. So we're going to just go like this. There we go. That should be good. All right, and at this point, this one is also ready to begin to simmer. So we're going to heat it up to a medium heat. We're going to let both of these go ahead and simmer for about an hour, reduced by half. This one, once it has reduced by half, we will of course strain all the juices, squeeze those berries as hard as we can to get all the juice out. And then at that point, we will add 1 cup of raw honey. Stir it all together and refrigerate. This one, after an hour, when it's reduced by half, we will strain it all, get all those berries squished, all the juice out that we can. Then we'll make a simple syrup with water and organic raw sugar. And then we will combine 1 part syrup to 3 parts berry juice that we've made. So just stay tuned and we will finish these off after a while. Okay, these have been simmering for about 15 minutes. And you can laugh at me, I'm laughing at myself about this, but I feel like I'm making myself do double the work for no reason. I was so worried about making sure that this batch didn't ever have any honey in it because I want to make sure I can give it to my infant and not have honey. The recipe specifically is for babies. But then I just thought about this and realized that the whole cooking process, which is happening in these pots, involves 0 honey. It's mainly just the water, the berries, and then this one has some extra spices for the extra health boost from those. Which I've seen babies' recipes with the spices added to them. The one I was following just didn't have them. So what I think I'm going to do is, since I only have 1 small saucepan like this, I need this saucepan to make my simple syrup for this recipe anyways. And so I'm going to actually just go ahead and dump this into here, cook all of this together, strain it all together, and then after the straining, divide it by half because it's equal parts in both of these. Divide it by half. Half of it will have the honey and half of it will have the simple syrup. That way later. So yeah. If you're gonna do something like this, which most people probably won't be doing 2 batches, they'll probably just, make a basic batch. But if you do, I think in the long run you can save yourself time by doing this. So yeah, anyways. So for our simple syrup here, I have 1/2 cup of organic sugar and then 1/4 cup of water. I'm going to mix it kind of together, combine it all together. And then you're going to dissolve your sugar, but not bring it to a boil. So I just have it on a medium to low, I guess a medium low heat. And this our elderberry mixture, which I put it all in one pot. It fit perfectly. I've reduced that from medium to medium low. So I'm gonna let this just begin to warm up so that it can melt the sugar. But I want to remove it as soon as the sugar is melted before it comes to a boil. Then I will just let it cool completely, and we will add it to our baby syrup. Alright, it has been a little over an hour now. I went ahead and turned this off. It has reduced some, not quite by half. I would say maybe about, not quite a third, but close to a third, maybe. I'm going to go ahead and strain it like this. That's plenty reduced, in my opinion. I also want to show you real quick. This is the simple syrup. It took about 10 minutes on just a low to low medium heat to get that to dissolve, but not boil. And now it's perfect. It's our syrup for the baby syrup, baby elderberry syrup. And then of course our honey is sitting here ready. So we're going to take this pot and we're going to strain it right here. I have a simple colander. Yeah, I had the berries in earlier, but I rinsed it out. Then I have a cheesecloth that is kind of stained, but it's clean, I promise. I'm going to strain it into a bowl that's under here, my Christmas bowl. So, there we go. As you'll see here, all the berries, once they're cooked down really good, they will lose their color. So instead of being a nice purpley berry again, like at the beginning, they are like brown and colorless, basically. So we will let that kind of strain for a little bit, then I'll squeeze it out as tight as I can, and we will divide it and sweeten it each. Half honey, half simple syrup. Alright, this counter is a little dirty. Got some juice stains on it, popcorn in the background, and dishes on the side, but anyways. So all of our juice from our elderberries came out to 4 cups of juice. 2 cups in each. I have a cup of honey here. It is slightly less than a cup, that's fine. And then 2/3 cup of simple syrup. It's also just slightly less than 2/3 cup. But you know what? Those will be sweet enough the way it is. So you add your syrup into each, syrup and honey into each. Stir it up and refrigerate. It lasts about 3 weeks in the refrigerator. You're supposed to take a tablespoon a day for adults, teaspoon a day for children. If you are feeling sick or you are sick, you can take a tablespoon. I think it's every hour. I will try to post that for sure. I can't remember. I think it's either every hour or just every couple hours. Sorry, I have a child here in my arms and he just wants attention. But yep. Just take it for your immune health. Look how good that color is. It's beautiful. Alright, there's our 2 finished jars. I had to change the jar for the honey one because when I tried to put in a whole cup of honey, it was just going to overflow. So I moved it to a bigger jar. So the bigger jar is the honey syrup. I just shook it up really good to stir in the honey. So that's why it's got those bubbles on top. It'll settle in a little bit. And then the smaller jar is the one with the simple syrup for like babies. So, hope you enjoy it. Make some for your health, for your immunity health. It's got great benefits for your immune system. And a great natural remedy. So, thank you for following along with me.